Hello viewers. So if you are looking to see that how to implement machine learning in Power BI in your reports or in your dashboard, then today you will see how easy it is to implement in Power BI. And today we are going to implement the cognitive services inside the Power BI. And today we will detect text language by creating a custom function. Okay, the agenda is first we will see what is cognitive services, then we will create a cognitive services resource in Azure portal, then test the API or endpoint in Postman application. Then we will call Microsoft's cognitive services that we will create by using the custom function in Power BI. And by using that custom function and calling the API, we will detect the language of text, and those texts are basically YouTube comments. So let's start with the first point. What is cognitive services? Cognitive services is basically the set of these are the set of machine learning algorithms that Microsoft has developed to solve problems in the field of artificial intelligence. Okay, so to know more about the cognitive services, it's very easy to access the Microsoft's website. Go to this URL, and here you can see that there are some sections inside the UI, like the set of APIs are for the vision are inside the vision, that are basically for image processing and video processing, and the set of APIs, machine learning APIs, that is related to the audio and speech. You can find all those inside the speech section, and for knowledge there are some related APIs, and inside the search and inside the languages there are some APIs. So today we are interested to explore the language section. To click on this language section, and it will open a new page for you. Here you can see all the sections in above, and we are here in language. Inside the language there are also some subsections or some APIs set. These are for the text analytics, right? And there are some for translation purpose, content moderation purpose, and being spell check, and likewise others. And Microsoft is adding more stuff as ongoing. Research is ongoing. Okay, so click on this text analytics, and here we will see a demo how this text analytics is working. Here we have an input box, and here's the output. So when supplied with this sentence and clicked on analyzed, it has produced the output like this. Detected that language is English with 100% confidence. And key phrases inside the sentences are Seattle, wonderful trip, space, Netherlands. The key phrases are basically the person, place, or any well-known entity. So here is the sentiment of the sentence, because there is a joy and positiveness inside the sentence. So this is 98% positive. And these are the linked entities, like the keyword Seattle has this link of the Wikipedia link, you can see in the bottom line, and here is another link. If I change I had wonderful into I had very bad trip, see, this should be reduced dramatically. So just click on analyze, and it has detected that the sentiment is very low, 23%, because the trip was bad. Or if I put the something in different language, then it should detect. So let me quickly translate it. Google Translate. Click here the sentence, and let's assume French. Okay, I want to translate it into French. So it has been translated into French. Simply copy this from here and paste it here, and now try to analyze. It's analyzing. See, it successfully detected that the language is French, but unfortunately it is not providing the good sentiment score. So it is must to provide or change the phrase into English if we want to get the sentiment right. With other languages this is not so good right now, but it is successfully detecting the language right with 100% confidence. And in today's tutorial we are going to see this one. And you can also click on the Json tab to see that how it produces the result. When we provide this input, it produces the result like this, like language detection, key. Inside that there is a document, and this is the array, and these are the objects, and inside this name is the French, and so, and these are the other information that has been extracted. Now we will do all this stuff inside the Azure. So here is in my Azure portal, and I have already created a resource group with the cognitive services, with the name of cognitive services. And here I will add a new Azure resource to detect the language. Okay, click here and type text analytics and click on text analytics. Here it's showing that inside text analytics there are 3 types of functionalities: sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, and language detection. We are interested in language detection, but it is capable to do all these 3 functionalities if we create this service. Okay, click on create and it will ask for some input. Just quickly provide those input. Text analytics demo. In East US, in pricing I will choose the free tier. F0 is the free tier, and you can do up to 5,000 transactions in 30 days. If you have more requirements you can go for other standard tiers, but that will cost you. Okay, I will select the first one that is perfect for this demo and select the resource group and click on create, and let's wait. Deployment is in progress and now it's completed. Go to resource, and here inside the resource you will find this quick start section, and click on the API reference. So from here you can start. Click on API reference. It will open a new window. Okay, so here you can see 1, 2, 3. There are 4 post methods. This one is for language detection. This is for entities detection, and key phrase extraction, and sentiment scoring. So this is selected. We are inside detect language option. Okay, and these are information that how this API should be called, and likewise. Okay, you can go below and see some sample codes for the different language implementation. So whatever is your favorite language you can select. Okay, so right now as we said that we will we have created the resource in Azure. Now we will test the API endpoint in Postman. So to do this, I will first we would like to see the endpoint. Here the endpoint is shown, this one, but this is a sample endpoint. Our endpoint will be different than this one, right? So what will be our endpoint? Click on your portal and we are inside this service text analytics demo, and here go to the overview. Click on the overview. Because we created this in East US 2, That's why it should be east-us2 here. Okay, so this is the endpoint, and we can click to copy, right? We will call this endpoint. To call this endpoint, we have copied, and now we will go to the Postman, and here previously I have already provided this endpoint, but let's remove and paste it again, right? Now see, when we paste, it is up to only version 2.0. Now you have to provide some additional parameter here, like provide slash, and if we want there are functionalities we know it can do. See, here is the languages. If we are going to detect the language, then we have to provide this language parameter. Okay, now copy this, come to here and type it here. So this should be our endpoint that we are going to call. Now I have to provide header information. So you can see that previously I provided two header information, content type and the API key. Now I will provide the content type. So I have already provided these two things, content type and the key, but this key is not valid because this is old one. So content type is okay. Now I have to provide the other value here. To provide this value, I will go to this page, and here you can see it requires a subscription key. So simply copy this, come to Postman, type it here, and now we have to supply the key. To supply the key, come to your Azure service, and here we'll find key section. Inside the key you can copy this key, come to the Postman, supply this key. We have provided the endpoint, the parameter and the header information. These two are required header information. Now we will go to the body section, and here let's remove this, and here what we should provide, whatever you like, but the structure should be according to the requirement. This is a sample request body, so you can select the same one here. In this sample you can see inside the document there are 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences are being sent to detect the language, like for this ID1, and text is hello world, second one is this one, maybe in different language, and this is in different language, and there is no language indeed. Okay, let's see how it detects. So I will copy the sample from here and will post it here. Right now I will simply click on the send. It's accessing the endpoint from this, and the status is okay, so it was successful. And here is the output. Below section you can see for the ID1 the detected language is English, and the score is 1 with 100% confidence. For the second one, the language is French. This is FR is the short for French, and 100% accuracy or confidence level. And the third one was the Spanish, and the fourth one was English. Okay, so you can see output will be generated like in this way. Okay, so far we have done the endpoint calling in Postman. Now we will call this endpoint in Power BI by creating custom function. Okay, to do this part, first make sure that you have enabled the IntelliSense for the Power Query. Click on these options and go to the preview features, and make sure you have checked this IntelliSense option. Right, if you by default maybe not checked, but you can check on that part, so that it will be very helpful to write the code inside the Power Query editor. Okay, now I will go to the edit queries, and it will open up the Power Query editor, make it a little bigger, and see, this is the data set. And this data set is very simple. This is a serial number, and these are the comments, and I have copied these comments from the Microsoft's Power BI official's YouTube channel. So these are the comments people are commenting on a particular video. In from 1 to 4, these are in English, but from 5 to 7, like 5th, 6th and 7, these I have translated into another language, that may be French or any other language, I don't know, but by using the API, now we will detect the language of these comments, right? To create a custom function, simply right click here and new query and the blank query. Right now click on the advanced editor, and it will open up a dialog window. Here we will type our complete code. Okay, let's start with the input as text. Okay, first we will provide some basic information like the API key. So simply create the variable for this, and then headers. Okay, and then the end point to be called. For the API key, we know what is the API key. Go to the portal and copy this API key to here. Okay, now provide comma here, and then the endpoint should be in the overview. Copy the endpoint and paste it here, and provide the parameter lang, which is right. Now provide the endpoint. Oh, sorry, endpoint should come here. And here we should provide the header. For the header part, slash and this. Here we have to provide the required header. So what is that? You can go to here, and we remember that is OCP APIM subscription key. Come to here, right, is equal to API key. Okay, we have provided these three information. Now we will create the JSON body here, JSON body, and before that create JSON text first. So whatever we have is coming from the input variable, and you can first trim or say text.trim, both are valid. Input, and to detect the language we don't need all the text, so we can select only 5000. Therefore we will select text dot start and select maybe 5,000 and put a comma in the end. Now we would like to convert this into JSON. To convert it into JSON, we will call the JSON and JSON from this value, that is the input text. Okay, so once we have created this, it will produce a binary output. So to convert this binary output, we will apply another function which is text. So convert text from a binary value. Okay, this will produce a JSON text. This will convert our comments into a JSON text. So, okay, now we will create a JSON body. To do this, simply use this document, right, and ID 0 and text, and here concatenate with the JSON text you have created in the above line. Okay, so now we have JSON body. In the next line we will bytes body and text to binary. We will convert the JSON body into binary. JSON body. Okay, now we will call the endpoint or API. Call the API. Okay, so for this we will use the function, a function web.contents. Okay, and we will store bytes response, and the call will be like that. We will call the web contents function and will provide the endpoint to call and the array. So inside this list we are providing headers and assigning the headers value, and inside the contents assigning the content, that is the bytes body. Okay, so response, whatever will be the response of cognitive service API will be coming inside this bytes response. Okay, now in the next section we will parse the JSON, parse the JSON data. Okay, JSON response as JSON document, first one, from bytes response that we have here. Okay, and now we will extract the language from the response, and by using this statement we can, here in the JSON response we know there is a document object and the first element, and this was the key of the language detection. So detected language and the first value and find the name. So you can verify this hierarchy here inside the document, detected language, name, document, see, and the ID, first ID, output is here, sorry, document, detected language, and the name. Okay, so the main object is document, and inside the main object see the detected language object, and inside the name object, and what is the value of name will be the language output. So it is here, and see there is no syntax error. We can safely save it as a done. Wow. Okay, there was no syntax error but logical error. What is we are going to return the value of this function as a source, but there isn't any source variable at all. So what we should replace with here with the language. Okay, now click on done and error is removed. Okay, now you can rename this function like detect language. Okay, and now the time to invoke this function in our data set. So click on add column, invoke custom function, click on this option, and what should be the new column name? You can provide as a language, whatever you like, and we want to call this function detect language and want to supply the field which is the comments, and click on OK. Okay, now it's asking information is required about data privacy. Click continue, and here it's asking for some additional security, but for right now just ignore it and move forward. Waiting. Yep, here is the output: English, 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 Swedish, Polish, French. Okay, so now we have seen that how to integrate with the cognitive services and apply it. So now you can apply, and in the Power BI it's working. So we have seen that how to apply the cognitive services. So I hope so that you have learned something in this video. So if you like this video, please press on like button and subscribe our channel.